thanks to our law enforcement officers and the majority of Angelenos who protested peacefully, the situation was winding down and was concentrated in just a few square blocks downtown. But that's not what Donald Trump wanted. He again chose escalation. He chose more force. He chose theatrics over public safety.
And I think if Gavin Newsom was 60, short, fat, and from Minnesota, nobody would listen to a goddamn word that idiot.
Gavin Newsom walked into what felt like a comedy cage match, and Adam Carolla showed up swinging with jokes sharp enough to cut steel. Forget politics, this wasn't a debate, it was a demolition. Newsom tried flexing that California Polish, but Corolla roasted him hotter than a wildfire in Malibu. Smooth talking met brutal truth, and the governor didn't stand a chance.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families, have no access to a checking account or an ATM, things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
Well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is in check cashing places.
But I want to know why those two groups don't have access.
Well, a lot of it just happens to be that. We can talk about flawed? No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically
Folks are making
flawed.
Their word. Hardly, not absolutely.
But okay,
not.
Do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have. A lot of whites have these problems.
Oh,
but
no, that's not just black and Hispanic.
No, but
why do you bring up black and Hispanic?
Because
Before we get into it, smash that like button and subscribe because you don't want to miss this one. Gavin Newsom struts across the political stage like a shampoo commercial that grew legs. Perfect hair, perfect teeth, perfect rehearsed lines. To his fans, he's the golden boy, California's visionary, the man who can smile through a crisis and somehow make it look like a campaign ad.
Adam Carolla here. Governor, why did you shut the beaches in California during COVID?
Yeah, I think we all were working on information at the time. We had no basis of deeply understanding the virus. I think they did the same thing.
So you didn't know anything, so why'd you shut the beaches?
States like Florida.
If you didn't know anything, why'd you shut the beaches?
Well, we didn't know. Yeah, because people were concerned early in the pandemic. Information was coming out as it relates to how it was transferred.
To his critics, though, his all-wrapping paper with no gift inside, just IOUs, parking tickets, and maybe a whiff of overpriced cologne. That's when Adam Carolla enters the scene. Corolla is like a human lie detector armed with sarcasm. He doesn't just poke holes in hypocrisy, he pressure washes it until there's nothing left but a soggy mess.
Loveline? Gavin. Oh, Gavin Newsom. Yeah, it gets me angry. Gavin, that's the best interview ever, right? Yeah, Gavin Newsom. So I got a theory, because Gavin Newsom, so California is like the only thing in California that's not on fire are the homeless. It's just homeless people in fire. That's all there is.
The clash between these two isn't just politics. It's spectacle. Imagine a Tesla with low battery colliding with a beat-up pickup that has nothing to lose. That's Newsom versus Corolla. The glossy California dream ran straight into a comedian who makes everything sound ridiculous, and spoiler alert, the dream turned nightmare real quick.
Gavin Newsom, 0 intersectional points. He has no points. He's heterosexual, he's tall, he's white, he's not even fat. Yeah. He goes to the French Laundry, he gets busted, he has to have a presser and apologize to everyone. Lori Lightfoot got triple points. Lesbian, black, female, maybe even 4, homely.
Disabled.
She's got all going on, right? She gets busted for getting her hair done during COVID after shutting down all the hair salons, and she gets in, has a presser, goes, fuck off. Because I got intersectional points. Because I'm a lesbian, and I'm black, and I'm a woman. So she goes, I'm not doing...
California has long been sold as paradise, the beaches, the startups, the avocado toast that costs as much as rent. Newsom's pitch is simple: California is the model for America. Climate policies, progress, innovation, the whole sales package. But then comes Corolla gleefully ripping open the box to show what's really inside: skyrocketing homelessness, businesses fleeing, and residents packing U-Hauls faster than reality show contestants packing their bags.
Gavin Newsom does all his videos and his vlogs and his address to the nation. I was like, do one good thing for taxpayers in California and then go after Trump. One, piece of legislation or one move that would help your average California taxpayer, and then you can assassinate Trump verbally. But Gavin Newsom's a sociopath. I don't think people really fully understand who that guy is and who that guy isn't.
While Newsom rehearses his lines like a man auditioning for Netflix's future president, Corolla grabs the mic and hacks through the glossy PR. He mocks California's grand plan like it's a failed Kickstarter campaign, flashy pitch, zero results. His genius. He doesn't talk like a politician. No boring stats. No staged hand gestures. He talks like a fed-up Californian stuck in traffic with bills piling up.
Adam Carolla has this really epic takedown of Gavin Newsom, where Newsom says that Black and Latino people largely don't have access to bank accounts. And he goes, why is that? And he's like, I don't know. And he's like, is it because of their genetics? And Newsom's like, no, of course not. And he's like, so it's only Black and Latino people. Why is this happening to them? And he's like, well, it happens to white people too. And Carolla goes, oh, so everybody has this problem. Do Asians have it? And he goes, yes. Why is...
That's why it stings. When Newsom brags about leading the way, Corolla asks, leading the way to where? Bankruptcy. U-Haul convoys heading to Texas. Families taking out a loan just to afford groceries. The facts back him up. Californians are fleeing, businesses are bailing, and crime is so common it feels like part of the tourist package.
People were cautious, trying to keep people alive. And I should say this,
So you didn't let them go in the sunshine and get vitamin
California
D
outperformed.
and exercise, so you shut the beaches. Okay. And you arrested a guy who was paddleboarding in the bay.
Health, wealth, and...
Yeah, any
It's always
science
good to see
behind
Adam,
that?
and,
Any science
we're
at
all
all behind
geniuses
shutting
in
outdoor
hindsight.
dining? Why'd you
We're all
shut down outdoor dining? Go ahead, go.
Newsom frames it all as growing pains. Corolla flips it, saying if the road has this many bumps, it's not progress, it's a failed off-road trail. The shine wears off. The golden boy starts looking more like a slick salesman pitching condos in a building with no plumbing. Meanwhile, Corolla tears down the illusion with punchlines that land harder than policy points.
Everyone is moving to Nashville, and they're moving to Texas. Everyone's moving out of town, and his thing is like, okay, let me see. By 2035, no more internal combustion engines can be sold in the state of California. And you're like, okay, Gavin, the building's on fire. There's a pyramid of homeless people out front. Joe Rogan just went to Nashville. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Okay, all right, let's see.
This isn't political commentary. This is comedy as Demolition. Newsom hides behind polish, but Corolla burns right through it with sarcasm, common sense, and jokes sharp enough to peel paint off a yacht. Every time Newsom leans on the California is the model argument, Corolla twists it into absurdity, like calling a dumpster fire a sustainable heat source.
Nothing. He'll talk about trans rights and sports if he's in one setting, and then say it's unfair in another setting. I don't think people fully understand who that guy is. I sat in a room with him for an hour and tried to talk to him, and there's nothing there. And the idea that he has designs on, sort of global domination is in...
For years, Newsom has promised his tackling homelessness with billions in programs. But Corolla points to the reality, tents multiplying like Starbucks sidewalks doubling as campsites, and the state spending more per homeless person than some countries spend on schools. Politicians can spin attacks from other politicians. But against a comedian, you can't spin a punchline.
Realize he picks weird, inane shit because it's the kind of stuff you would focus on if you were out of problems, right? Like if you didn't have schools that were failing and taxes that were too high and you can't make payroll and everyone's out of money and there's no more unemployment checks coming in and everything is on fire and homeless and f***ed up. If you will all somehow be distracted by that if you worked on the little shit that makes no difference. So
when companies like Tesla, Oracle, and Hewlett-Packard leave, so do jobs, tax revenue, and the middle class. Corolla cracks that California's biggest export isn't tech, it's moving vans. And the joke lands because it's true. Housing prices are insane, gas feels like liquid gold, and groceries cost like you're shopping in an art gallery. Corolla doesn't talk about affordability crises. He says living in California is like paying for Netflix and getting fewer shows every month. That's why it sticks.
Basically he's like a guy who runs the world's worst taco stand. He makes the worst tacos, and then he starts saying, I want a franchise and get my horrible tacos to everyone in the United States. And I'm the guy who lives across the street from his taco stand going, this guy makes the worst tacos ever. He wants to franchise. It's never going to work. You can always tell he's full of shit when he does his damn and hell. Like, these damn people come here to work hard. Hell, I don't care what I sound like right now. Oh, damn. When he says damn and hell, that's his false sort of he does a feigned outrage.
Even crime gets roasted. Newsom tries to downplay it with stats, but Corolla skewers it with reality. Car breakers are so common in San Francisco that people just leave trunks open so thieves won't smash windows. That's not progress, that's surrender. And when blackouts force people to stop charging electric cars, Corolla jokes it's like buying the newest iPhone and realizing it only works if you don't use it.
Why aren't you protecting the folks there? 8 of the top 10 murder states in this country, red states. What bullshit.
So classic Newsom just on social media. He comes out and goes, I don't know what Trump is talking about. 8 out of 10 of the top state murder rates are in red states, which he was right. That is true.
Right.
But of course, when you go and then look at what the cities are, 9 out of 10 are Democrat. And the only one that's not Democrat just switched to Republican 6 months ago, and and it's on its way down.
Yeah, it's all the cities that are Democrat run.
Such a classic Newsom manipulation. He doesn't know the bullshit he's speaking.
Everyone knows Newsom has bigger ambitions. Every soundbite, every staged smile, every campaign-ready speech, it's all an audition for the White House. But Corolla paints him as a man selling America a model that's already collapsing backstage. It's like pitching a Broadway show while the theater's on fire. That image resonates because people see the gap between ambition and reality.
I was watching Newsom, and Newsom was giving a speech on the homeless. He's disgusted, by the way, by this situation.
Time to do your job. People are dying on their watch. Dying on their watch.
He is absolutely appalled, but this is more performative confidence he's doing. He's the cause of the homeless problem, really, essentially. But here he is the other day.
How do people get reelected? People are dying. I'm not interested in funding failure anymore. I'm not.
He keeps talking about people dying. I thought it was a mother of 2 who had a full-time job and just got divorced. She's ODing?
And that's the bigger point. This isn't just about California, it's about what happens if the California model gets sold to the entire country. Corolla doesn't just mock a governor, he warns America with a laugh track. Newsom wants to export California's future. Corolla exposes it as a do not replicate disaster exhibit.
If I heard Newsom go, gas prices in California are way too high, I got to bring them down, I don't care what it's going to take, I'm going to do it, then I would go, well, all right, well, the sociopath makes a point. But he never says that. He blames the oil companies, and then it turns out it's not the oil companies gouging us, it's your over-regulated state that is causing the high gas prices. I ran into him briefly during Chris Cuomo's show, right before the debate with him and Trump, where he was explaining that Biden was going to mop up Trump in the debate. I should take Gavin Newsom to the track and pick some ponies with me and really make some coin.
Newsom wanted to prove California is a shining example. Corolla showed it shining all right because it's on fire. He exposed the irony of selling the California dream while residents rent U-Hauls to escape it. That's why this takedown landed harder than any rival politician could manage. Corolla wasn't playing politics, he was playing truth wrapped in humor. And once that illusion is destroyed, no slick slogan or photo op can put it back together.